Hey guys, so a couple years ago when I was living in Pennsylvania, I had a Hardy H2 outside wood heater. Uh, I've moved back to Mississippi now and I have another Hardy H2 outside wood heater. And I made a video about it a few years ago when I was in Pennsylvania. And I've had a lot of people asking, how's everything hooked up and do you still like your heater and everything? And I absolutely love it. But I figured I'd make a video. I'm out here putting wood in it this morning and I'm going to take you around back, open up the back hatch on it, and show you how all the water lines are hooked up, and electrical lines, and thermostat wire, and everything. So follow me, and I'll go show you how everything works. So here it is, the back side of my Hardy, where you can see all the connections and everything. We'll start down here at the bottom. I've got corrugated pipe buried going to the house, and it's got 4 PEX lines in it. You can kind of see them here. 2 blues, 2 red. So the very bottom blue is going to be that one. It's blue, but it's not really like cold water from the house or anything. This is part of the heating side for my ductwork. It's the colder side of the radiator coming back to the heater with cooler water. And the other side of that loop is this red. Goes to here. This is a water pump. So hot water in the heater gets circulated to the radiator in my ductwork with this pump. Pump kicks on when the house calls for heat, and it pushes the hot water underground to my house and then back through that bottom line down there to get reheated again. These 2 lines, this one and this one, are for the domestic water, the hot water, shower, stuff like that. So this is cold water coming from my water line from my well, from the house, and goes into the heater, and then after it gets heated up, it comes out here and back towards the house. This is just a pop-off line, normal hot water heater pop-off for when it gets too hot or whatever. I've just got it plumbed down to the ground down there, so if it does pop off, it doesn't spray everything in here with water. This heater, this Hardy, not all of them have it, but this one does. It's got an automatic fill where if the water for the ductwork side, the heating part for the house, if it starts to get low in that water jacket, you can turn this on here, and I don't know if you can see it in there. It'll fill up the water jacket for the ductwork side. And I've just got that one off because it started to leak a little bit, but I use it every now and then if I have to check and see if it needs water. And what else? Yeah, so I'll just start at the bottom. Those are the connections for everything. That's how those go. And then this thing is the blower. So it's got a damper on it. Whenever the fire, or the water inside the fire, how do I say it? Whenever the water around the fire box starts to cool off, it's got a temperature sensor, and it kicks on. Like right now I've got it unplugged because it says the water is too cool and it needs to kick on. So if I plug this up, see it lifts that, a little electric magnet right there, and that blows to blow air in to the firebox to make the fire burn hotter. But for the video's sake, I'll leave that unplugged so you can hear me a little better. And this, just a simple electromagnet. Get those out of the way. Where a hot and a neutral wire going through here gets plugged up to the little fan motor. And the other end of it goes to here to a 110 outlet. And this other outlet is for the water pump. And then these are temperature sensors for the water jacket around the firebox. I have my temperature sensors bypassed. There's another one up there. You can wire them up to where the temperature sensors work, and it'll only blow air in the house when the water is hot enough. So if the water cools off enough, it'll cut the pump and everything off, so you're not blowing cold air in your house. But all of that is determined by this Honeywell temperature sensor up here. I've got mine bypassed because it can still blow warmer air than just cold air. Like, I don't know how to explain it really, but there's no sense in it just cutting off whenever the temperature gets below 160 degrees. I mean, there's still a good bit of heat left below 160 before it starts blowing cold air like an air conditioner. So why not use all the heat I can get until, I mean, I'm going to check it every day, every morning and night. So it's not like I'm going to not notice it for a day or two. So I've got mine bypassed. You could plug it up there, but it's just a little temperature pop disc to complete the circuit or break the circuit. What else? This is just a little clean out. It raises this lid, and it's in case you are too lazy and you don't empty out your ashes enough. The ashes can push themselves out back here and go down onto the ground. I siliconed mine shut because it was a little cork gasket that was around the lid was starting to eat away a little bit and sucking air in there, so the fire was burning more than it was supposed to. So I just siliconed that shut because I check my ashes pretty regular. This braided steel line goes to a tank there, which is part of this short stack. It's full of water. That's where these wires, that's where it determines how much water is left in the firebox. You can take this cap off and look down in there, make sure you have enough water in your fire jacket and all that stuff. You can change the temperature, just a little flathead in there. You can adjust how hot you want your water to be as it's going in and out of your house. What else? These do go bad. I mean, it's just a magnet that turns on and sucks that lid up whenever it needs more heat. So those, I've had to swap one of those. Out of everything, that's probably the most common thing to go out. And then your water pump, if you let them sit for, a year or more, little fins in here, they can get rusted up and kind of seize. But if you're using it regular enough, everything's moving enough, you don't have to worry about it so much. These little fans, I don't know if I'll be able to show you but it's just like a big hair dryer, kind of like a turbo, kind of. You do have to oil the little fan inside there every now and then. Just take a little gun oil or machine oil and drip it in a little hole in there, because you don't want that thing to go out either. And I think that's about it. The last thing, I guess, is if you wanted to figure out how to wire it. This is just thermostat wire. It's ran into the corrugated pipe with those other 4 lines, PEX lines. I've had 2 of these Hardy heaters, and both of them have been wired up different. This one is that's the way this one's wired going to my thermostat. All I needed was the red and white wires to tell it when to kick on. Some of them, if you're going to use the temperature sensor thing up there, you've got to incorporate more wires. But this one's pretty simple. If somebody's looking to wire one, hopefully yours is similar to this way that one is. And then these just go inside my house to my thermostat. This box is not connected anymore. When I got this heater, it was already disconnected, so I'm not sure what that was. And then, just like a normal outlet, wiring it up, this wire is ran in with the PEX pipes and the thermostat wire as well. So when you're running all your lines through that PEX pipe, make sure you run everything at once, because it's a pretty tight squeeze. I think I used 4-inch corrugated pipe. And then this is the wire for the blower. It goes up to here. It's wire nutted in right here. It's going up to the Honeywell thermostat. And then from the thermostat, it goes down to the blower itself. And then this is the automatic fill lines. This one has a little red light out there to tell you when your water's getting low. I unplugged it because it was thinking it was low all the time, so it was overfilling itself. but they just lead up into the bottom of this container and then over here to this little water pump for the autofill, which I have shut off. And this one is got, for the water pump itself, plugged in, one wire going to there, other wire going to there, and back into the wiring harness. This is just going to break the circuit whenever it doesn't need power from my thermostat. Whenever my thermostat tells it to, hey, we need heat, makes a circuit there, makes a circuit there, pump kicks on. So pretty simple, but like I say, all of them that I've messed with, my dad's, he's had 2 of them. His is wired up different too, so I don't know if somebody took some liberty to do it themselves as they get their Hardys, or if they're wired up different from the factories or whatever. But it's not a confusing thing, and there's actually wiring diagrams and stuff on the Hardy site if you want to wire it up the factory way. I'm just gonna plug this back up, and you can see it kick on because it's needing heat. A little fire going. So we're inside now at my hot water heater, and here are the lines for the house and the Hardy. We've got cold water from the well or city water, whatever you have, coming in, and it would normally just follow this line and go into your hot water heater, get hot in here, and then back out to your house through here. With the Hardy, you got your cold water coming in. You got put a ball valve here, shut this ball valve off, and it sends cold water out towards your heater. Then your heater heats it up, brings it back in on this bottom line, and it comes in on this side of the shut off valve, and it puts preheated water into your hot water heater. And then this acts as just a storage tank, or if your heater goes out, then this will kick in and start heating as well. And it just puts the hot water back out to your house, into your pipes like normal. It's a pretty simple setup, but that's how it is. Cold water comes in and goes out to your heater and then comes back. If you want to undo your heater and work on it or something, you just open this ball valve and close these two, and it'll isolate the heater off from itself, and you'll just have cold water going in to your hot water heater like normal. And that's pretty much it.